What's going on, everybody? Welcome in. I am John Kennedy. Up until now, an apolitical John Kennedy. I have a football channel on YouTube. That's how I made my bones, not politics. But everything's so out of control right now. We need a John Kennedy to come in here with some logic and straighten things out. So here we are. I want to be clear about this. I belong to no political party. I believe that the right and the left are doing a bad job for America. They've lost their way, lost their priorities, both of them. Neither side represents my values. And I feel like that frees me up to look at these situations very neutrally. Neither one of these parties speaks for my values. They don't represent the way I want to live or the way I want the country to be. Let's get that straight. I have no left or right dog in this. Just logic and truth. Let's get into this. The one thing that could make Joe Biden's corpse-like debate performance worse would be for the Democrats to come out with a whole bunch of excuses, none of which add up or make any sense and all sound desperate. That's the only way that Weekend at Bernie's performance, not Bernie Sanders, that'd be different, that Weekend at Bernie's corpse performance could get any worse is with a whole bunch of excuses that carry no weight. What did we get? Took a few days. You got a whole bunch of excuses that make no sense. Let's go over them and why they're all equally ridiculous. Travel. Biden was overseas 2 different times and he had jet lag before the debate and he was all tired or whatever. Bro, he got home from the trip 12 days before the debate. He got home from those trips 12 days before the debate and then had 7 days at Camp David to do nothing but prep. All that did is make him look even weaker, that it takes over 2 weeks to recover. You just made your case worse, not better. That's number one. Number two, he had a cold. Listen, as somebody who does content for a living, it is a real problem when I have a sinus issue or a cold or my throat hurts and I have a 2-hour live stream to do after a football game and my voice isn't carrying, my inflection isn't right. It hurts to talk. I know what that's like. I talk for a living. I know what that's like. Here's the problem. You don't get to use the cold thing as an excuse when it only comes out after you fall flat on your face. This would have been different had the DNC come out a day or two before the debate and say, just to let everybody know, our guy has a bad cold and you need to understand that going in. Now, a lot of the media and all of the people on the right would have ran with that and said on Twitter or whatever, look at them, they're already building in excuses to lower the bar. It would have been bad media, but not nearly as bad as what ended up happening and then you saying it after. It felt like 20 minutes into the debate when he was doing awful, then all of the aides start texting the media, oh yeah, he has a cold. It carries no weight then, too late. If you wanted to get ahead of that, you had to do it before the debate, not after. Epic fail. Another one. I've seen a lot of people on the left complain that Donald Trump got away with, depending on where you look, 27 to 30 lies in the debate. And CNN, the moderators, did not push back on him in real time on all those lies. Here's the problem with using that as an excuse. Number one, Biden's camp are the ones who put together and suggested and agreed to the format for the debate. And they went to CNN and set this all up in a way they thought was going to benefit their guy. Biden's camp drove all of the setup for the debate. They agreed to all of this, and a part of it being they're not there to fact check and all that and literally just give the guys their time and let them go. They suggested and agreed to that. You don't get to complain about it after it doesn't go your way when you put it all together and you agreed to the formatting. Also, I would also argue it is not TV anchor's job to be the arbiter of truth for the American people. That's Joe Biden's job. Biden had the responsibility to check those lies and stop them out in real time. And he couldn't do it because his brain doesn't work. That's his job. He's the only one who could have done it. You say, that's not true. Here's the real facts. He couldn't do it. That's on him. That's on him. I can't. Listen, the 10 to 4 thing that came out, oh yeah, his brain works from 10 to 4 and then he needs a nap and all this stuff and sundown syndrome, whatever. You are the leader of the free world. You cannot just be available to have your brain work from 10 to 4. This is not a normal job. You gotta be accessible and able to turn it on at all hours. Think about literally the safety risk for the country that his brain doesn't work after 4. What happens if, God forbid, somebody does something and we're close to war in the middle of the night and you got to wake the guy up? Then what? All these excuses do is just make this all look so much worse for the left. And all the people that have been covering and gaslighting, telling you for years that this guy's fine when your eyes tell you he's not. Then Biden himself says, oh yeah, I traveled around and I almost fell asleep at the debate stage. Even if he said it facetiously, it's not a funny thing, man, when the leader of the free world can't stay awake in a presidential debate. It's not funny. I don't get it. It's getting dark. The other thing, some of these people getting up there on the news channels and saying, this is just a one-off. Are you kidding me? A one-off? Do you have eyeballs? This guy's been falling off bikes, falling down the stairs, not doing any interviews where it's not scripted and somebody else writes it and all he has to do is read. Didn't even do the Super Bowl interview, which is the best free marketing anybody could ever get, but they didn't do it because they knew he probably couldn't get through it and they didn't want to risk it. He has taken the least amount of pressers answering questions like on the rip, not with the teleprompter. That's the other thing. How stupid do these people think we are? How stupid do they think we are? Telling me, oh, this is one bad 90-minute thing, but look at how good he did at the State of the Union and the day after the debate in North Carolina at the rally. Those were scripted events reading off a teleprompter. That is not the same thing as thinking on your feet with no notes. And we're not that stupid to believe it. These people think we're stupid. They do. They think we're stupid. And whatever they tell us, we should just believe no matter what, not ask any questions. Not ask any questions. So, I got a real problem with all this. And listen, I understand if your argument is Trump's a big threat and you got to know, why are we worrying about Biden when Trump's the big threat? That's the exact point. If you want to be serious about beating Trump, you kind of need a guy whose brain works to be able to get some messaging across here or present any strength whatsoever. And and then the other one is, here's the other one. Well, yeah, Biden's slipping a little bit and they acknowledge after the debate, I'm not as sharp as I used to be or whatever. But then it becomes like trust the team we built up around him to get initiatives done and all that. And what? Wait a second. You want me to trust the team that told me I was a jerk for being uncomfortable that our president has not been able to speak in public, falls off bikes and downstairs and wanders off stage, and his wife has to walk him around like they live at the senior home? And those are the people who told me not to worry about it. Everything's fine. And now I'm supposed to trust those people? I don't think so. I don't think so. It ain't going to go that way. It ain't going to go that way. So all of these excuses have made it all look worse. They're all getting exposed. They all told you everything was fine when we were saying it doesn't look fine. Now there's no way to avoid it. And now you got yourself a mess. Now you got yourself a mess. And they're going to have to figure their way out of it. Listen, I think both these parties are doing a disservice to the country and the way they're operating. They're bad for the country in different ways. But I don't like either one of these groups. I'm telling you, whoever is advising Biden, and now it appears to be Hunter Biden, the crackhead, he's in the big shot meetings. Whoever's advising him, they're doing an awful job. They are making everything worse. They're dumping gasoline on the fire. Every single thing they've done has been the wrong move. And everything they've done leading up to the debate, wrong move. After the debate, wrong move. You got yourself into a mess in this country. And I don't know the way out. Maybe we need to elect another John Kennedy. I'm available. Holler at your boy.